Um,
Let me see if Yoel, you might not realize it's happening right now.
well, he did. I was telling Fatma that he emailed me earlier this month saying, I'm on the call. Were you not on the call?
Yeah,
And I was like, no.
yeah, he
So
contacted me too. That's why I'm gonna remind him now. I don't know. What about Michael?
I haven't heard anything. It doesn't seem like he updated his report.
Well, he hasn't taken over as new person yet. We haven't officially invited him, did we? I mean, we haven't told him he.
The
Anyway,
one. But I thought Tim
yeah,
was, you know, turning things over. So I guess I thought I would see something that would let me know he's
right.
working on it.
Um,
And I haven't heard from Tim either. So I don't know if these numbers are accurate or not.
I think those are the old things from last time.
Yeah.
Um,
Well, I started the recording. We can get started. If more people hop on, we can say hello to them. So Deanna said that everybody won their respective positions.
Yes, everyone wins. So congratulations, everyone.
and so, how many people voted? We need to keep track of that, and hopefully, it's a good percentage of our membership.
I don't have the answer off the top of my head because I'm walking back to my office, but when I get to my desk, I can look at that.
Okay, because we have to look at the bylaws. We forgot to talk about that, but I think it's like might be that 10% of our members. Actually, I'm not sure. I don't know if we get I was gonna say 10%, but yeah, that might be about right. That would be like 20 people, right? Or 40 people. We have to look at the bylaws for that. But I mean, if not, then they're appointed.
Okay.
And the other thing I would say in future is maybe
Okay.
For next year, and hopefully we can just put this in the notes, Fatima, but like to have a slot where people can nominate on there. Like what do you guys think? Like not just yes for this person and no for that person, but like a write-in.
Well, I wouldn't want to write in unless they knew about it.
Well, I think the way that would work, they wouldn't be like, congratulations, you're co-manager now. And
Because I
also,
would
I
have
think
done that if that's how it goes. I would have had.
well, but also I think the other next part would be like a measured calculation of it too, as far as like like is should we put Kelly on treasurer, right? I mean, like if it was somebody like that, like they write me in for treasurer, and then there would be like a discussion of like, well, is Liat qualified to be treasurer? Should we not consider her? That kind of stuff. I suspect there would still be room for that rather than like, well, you're it now. But anyway, I just wonder if that would.
Well, are we supposed to have a nom-com like we do with chapters?
I don't know that we're supposed to, but we could. I don't know how. I mean, sure, we can have a nom-com. We can certainly find volunteers for that, right?
No, but it's actually usually the Pasco manager.
Yeah, exactly.
So I just put that on your plate.
Oh, Pat, I'm I'm the past, right? I'm more acting.
Yeah, I know.
But let me point out that somebody's going to become the acting or the past co-manager soon too. So careful what you pass on. But I mean, I think it is worthwhile to not necessarily a nom-com, but we've just in the past we just need to find volunteers. Basically, what I was going to say is like start the conversation earlier about for a volunteer for this position, do you want to stay on and that kind of stuff. But I think we started it early enough in some ways, and the problem is just that we don't have really people to reach out to. So,
but we've been doing it all year. I mean, it's not even
exactly.
like we've been promoting and asking, and we've tried. Some people and then they flake out and run away.
Right.
And I mean, we found great people who are on the phone. Thank you, ladies. And then and then some people don't work out. So it's really hard. I feel like it's like sales. Like you have to find, I don't know what the percentage is, but it's like you got to talk to 10 people and 5 seem viable and 1 works. So we need
Right.
to like,
Right.
I need to reach out to a lot more people. But I just find when I look at the volunteer, the member list, like I don't even know any of these people, you know, so it's hard to reach
Right.
out without having a personal connection, and everybody gets so many messages. I'm just
Right.
finding people don't ever respond to emails, and it's really frustrating. So,
Yeah.
okay.
And welcome everybody.
Sorry.
No,
I
it's
told myself, I was like, I'm not gonna get negative. Because I'm really
well,
frustrated with all my volunteer things right now, you know, because I'm having the same problem.
keeping it real.
Yeah.
It's okay, Kelly.
Yeah.
Well,
It's I mean, and it's across, you know, I mean, it's in the chapter, it's in the SIG,
right.
it's in other organizations that I'm, you know, belonging to.
Oh,
So it's not just
well,
us.
I mean, so first of all, and I'm not saying this lightly, thank you, Deanna and Fatima, for stepping up, and for other people who might be listening later. But it's, I mean, you know, we do need the newer blood to help take over for the people who've been doing it for a while. You know, Kelly and I are both burned out to different levels, or perhaps the same level and just barely hanging on. But I mean, you know, there's sort of, and we're not, this obviously isn't directed at you because you're here, but, you know, there's just an understanding like we'll hold the fort for a while and then the next, you know, we'll train the people and then the next people will come over and take over. And so we're in that position and we're trying, you know, we understand the importance of these communities and we're trying to keep them alive. But at some point, it's like, we're going to have to let loose. I mean, you know, we're going to have to, however you say it. As I've said before,
Step
I'm a
down.
foreigner, I'm not good with
Step
idioms.
some way and let other people step up. And
Yeah.
I'm wondering if one of the things that's stopping people from volunteering is how much support they actually have from, if they're, like, I'm a staff person. I'm on staff at a environmental consulting company. So
Okay.
I'm lucky enough to have support from my boss to do this.
Sure.
In fact, on my previous review, he said one of the things he wanted me to do was look at professional development activities, and he's counting this as one of them.
That's wonderful.
Yeah.
Thank you. For us, I mean.
I will. But I have that. But I'm wondering how many other staff people have that kind of support from their manager. That may be something else that is making people pause about stepping up and volunteering.
Well, I need to say yes, I have that support, and that's definitely helpful to be able to do certain things, you know, during the day and to have, you know, financial support and that sort of thing. But I also think there's a place to say, well, how can I volunteer? Like maybe maybe help host a presentation or something where I can do it in my after hours or on a lunch break, you know, once in the year or, you know, something like that. So I understand what you're saying, but I also think there's room to say, well, how can I fit this into like all the, you know, part that quote free time, you know?
Maybe we need to, when we put out a call for volunteers, maybe we need to spell that out and say something where people understand that, yes, you can do as much as you can, or if you have that, if you're lucky enough to have that support, then you may be you may want to volunteer for a leadership role.
Right.
that's assuming, of course, that they're reading our emails.
Right.
that
the
is
hardest part, I think. Yeah.
no,
Well,
I understand what you're saying.
I'll tell you this, it's a catch-22, and right now, I mean, we have Yoel is doing a terrific job with stuff that's happening in the Corrigo, and sorry, the catch-22 part is the events. We need to have more events so we can have more people, you know, attend them and become more, you know, attached to us. So then with it, and hopefully interested in participating. But it's just the catch-22 is it's like we're the ones, or
Who's
I'm
gonna
the
put
one.
them on? Yeah, like who's
Yeah,
gonna put on the
exactly.
events? Yeah, that's really hard.
And then like Kelly was saying, this isn't even, you know, our only commitment to communities. So it's just it's just getting a lot. But we can
Moving on.
move on.
With the open volunteer positions, what's going on with Donna? Do we
So
need
she
to
didn't
follow
reach
up?
out to me, and she didn't reach out to me. I had asked her to, but I'll just reach out to her now. I just haven't had, that was not my focus, but I'll reach out to her since she expressed interest in the water cooler. So nothing has happened,
Okay.
but I do to get her email address or reach out to her.
I think I have it. I could send it to you.
Okay.
So I think I was in communication with her already before
Okay,
she
and
went to. Go ahead.
I'm sorry, before she went to what?
Before she went to the water cooler chat, I had already sent
Okay.
her. Remember, we were going to send out those emails asking people to volunteer. She was one of the
Right.
people.
Right.
So I had already started the conversation when she came to the water cooler chat, and then you guys chatted more.
Yeah.
So
So have you so that's fine. I'll reach out to her. Regarding Dustin fundraiser events, have you never heard from him again, or did he express
no,
he's not interested anymore?
he
Okay.
didn't say he hasn't anything.
Okay. Okay.
I'm assuming it just.
He's not interested. Okay.
Yeah, I think it sounded like a good idea at the time for him. Like this professor told him to, and then I think the semester changed and
Right.
his priorities changed. So no. And the way he left me, I really don't care about. Because we had an appointment and he didn't meet it, and when I emailed him, he didn't respond.
Right.
So, I mean, how many times am I gonna try to work with that?
Right.
And then he's completely disappeared. I mean, he's never, apologized for that, or he never came back in any way.
It shocks me
What's
when
that?
people do. It shocks me when people do that, especially students, because Kelly, do you honestly think that if you're ever reviewing resumes in the future, and
Yeah.
I mean, seriously.
Yeah. Yeah. So, so that's where I'm coming from. Like I had set aside time for him, and I followed, and he didn't show up, and then I followed up with him, and he never responded, and he's never responded again. And so I'm just kind of, okay. If he had come back and apologized or something, it would have been one thing. If he'd communicated with me anyway, or shape or form afterwards.
Sure.
So.
Okay, on that positive note, on to others.
Yeah. So I guess I'm burnt out, and I'm a little burnt out, like I'm burnt out on all my volunteer stuff, and I'm kind of burnt out on, the flaky volunteers, which is nobody
Sure.
on this call.
Well, and just so you know, yes, I have quote trained several event managers.
I'm sure, yeah. It's
few years.
it's frustrating. So, okay, so we think the treasurer's report is out of date. I guess Michael's not coming. I need to touch base with him.
And I will say, sorry, I do know we were charged for logging me in for our for this environment we're in right now, the GoTo meeting.
Yeah.
So we just got charged $174 for that. And I'm not personally aware of any other expenses we've had this year so far. I mean, other than website and such.
You said 174.
Yeah, and that'll just, I mean, when we get our treasurer report, that'll be in there. But yeah. Oh, actually, that's good to put in the notes. So our go-to meeting is actually STC asked us to get our own go-to meeting environment, our own meeting environment.
Mm-hmm.
They provide it, but they can't. We actually meet, we meet regularly for volunteer meetings, and we have other events. And so they said it would be too much for them to manage for us. So this is a couple of years ago. And so Liz, this was Liz asked us, Liz Polar. And then she,
Poland.
because, yeah, Polar, she's the CEO. And Poland, I'm sorry.
It's Pohland.
Thank you. And we did it, there was a deal through TechSoup, but because like we don't have our separate bank account and we don't have our separate tax number so that we could get a discount through TechSoup, Liz did it herself. She set it up and purchased it with the understanding or agreement that we would be renewing this annually. And then there's been some, they've sort of forgotten about, like they didn't, when we told them in the last budgeting process that we budgeted for this and that they should, look for this charge and whatnot. They've sort of lost track of it on their end. And so I just updated them. I sent them a copy of the charge we just had this year and the charge that we had for last year and the correspondence. But I also said that we'll forward them that receipt in the future. So just a note on that. And we'll of course have to put this in the treasurer's information somewhere too. But when the receipt comes into the SIG leaders, we'll need to forward it to the treasurer anyway to show them the expense and then have them forward that over to STC, to Liz Poland, and to the communities manager, which now is Erin Galilee.
Okay. Thank you.
Sure.
And I guess the only other budgetary thing will be a little bit later when we talk about Summit. So,
Okay.
the membership report, Marcia said she did update it. It's always really in flux at this time of year. You see our high, at the end of the year, and then they take everybody out and everybody has to sign in again. It takes a few months for the numbers to build back up again. I don't know if anybody has any thoughts or questions about anything else in this.
Nope.
And then there was a little thing here about the team rewards program. I guess that Marcia got some input on the water cooler chat she had. So that's kind of nice. I was impressed with the description of activities. Okay, a very powerful view of the types of professional development activities. I was like, wow, that's that's pretty impressive. So that was that.
Maybe we can reach out to him now and see if he wants to be part of the powerful activities, making them happen.
I know, that's funny. But we can ask Marcia if she chatted with him.
Actually, I need to see if he's even.
Well, it says new member.
Yeah.
It says he's a new member in her shout out.
Oh, okay.
From new member. But
oh, cool.
I don't know.
Yeah, I have to. Well, I can check on the activity stuff.
So the water cooler chat, we had the January. I think the updates above. Somebody was happy with it.
Right. We had, I think, 17 people attend or something.
Okay.
I found an email I sent you guys with an update that apparently got stuck in my sent messages, so you never saw it. But we had, I think, 17 people sign up, and 3 of those were non-members, or maybe 2 of those were non-members
Of the SIG or of STC?
of the SIG.
Because otherwise,
I-
how would they hear
They
about
just
it?
did it. Hmm?
How would they hear about it if they weren't in the in STC? So
Of the SIG.
yeah.
We put, did we put the announcement? I think we put the announcement in the notebook, which is something we need to do regularly when we do hold events. So if you go to the notebook and you see, you know, upcoming events,
Hmm.
you could do that even if you're not a member, or maybe they saw it on our website. Maybe they were looking at our website, our fabulous website, considering, you know, joining it, and then they saw that event. I don't know. I can't answer for you how they knew about it.
Right.
But the 2 non-members came to that, which I thought was great because they could, you know, I assume they went to it considering joining. They might also see it in the Corrigo if Yoel ran the announcements there.
Right. Right. Okay. So fundraiser events, we're kind of at a standstill, but it sounds like you're trying to work on things.
Yeah, so I do have somebody, okay, I have Kit and I'm debating whether to put her, oh, I did write this earlier. I'm debating whether to put her in as a quarterly meeting speaker or a fundraiser event speaker, and I haven't thought about it in the last couple of weeks, but there's somebody I want to reach out to be our quarterly event speaker, and if I get them, then I think I'll keep Kit as as a fundraiser event. So more on that later. I do want to line somebody up for March, so March or April, and I guess that's coming up quickly. So I definitely will.
Yeah.
Do you want a fundraiser event in March or April, or do you want a quarterly program in March or April?
I want a quarterly program in March, but I have not reached out to the person I wanted to. And if I don't reach out to that person, then I already have a conversation, or I should say, if it doesn't make sense to have that person in March, then I'll see if Kit wants to do the quarterly meeting for March. And the reason I'm saying March is because ideally we would have 4 quarterly meetings in the year, and January, February, March would be the first quarter. So I would still like to hold something during that time as far as a quarterly meeting. And I also, a few of us, of course, don't think we should hold a fundraiser event where we charge everybody, including members, before we even hold a free meeting for our members. So, and so yeah, so that. What do you guys think? I mean, do you have an opinion on whether I should do invite Kit as a fundraiser event manager? I mean, fundraiser event, or try to line her up as one of, you know, our several quarterly event speakers?
Well, I know she wants to, she said she would speak, so to me, I'd rather just schedule her for the quarterly and know that that's done, because March is almost here.
Yeah,
We're not going to have any time to promote.
yeah.
That's true. On the other hand, if Kit is very well known, she might be a good draw for a fundraiser event.
Well, and that's what I'm thinking. And we did start corresponding. She wasn't available in February, but I haven't asked her about March. But I guess where her and Dusty dropped the conversation, or it sounds like she dropped it, but she asked me, she's like, well, remind me what the title, you know, what my presentation was going to be about. And actually, they hadn't decided on that yet. So what I'm thinking is to invite her to, she has a book about localization language. And I thought to invite her to speak about that as, you know, an aspect of that as it pertains to editors. editing, somehow tangentially related to editing. And obviously, language lends itself to that. So I think that will be a good topic. I think that will have a lot of interest in the industry, not just in our SIG. So on the one hand, it could be a good motivator for people to join our SIG. On the other, it would be a good, fundraiser. And I should say that non-members are welcome to join quarterly meetings. They just have to pay for it. So either way, if it's a big enough draw, we would have, some extra people coming and paying for it. So it would, in that respect, still be a fundraiser.
So when would that be if it was a fundraiser?
Well, I would still try to do it either April or May, because so Anne Marie Queenie will present to us. It'll actually be the Policies and Procedures SIG, and we're invited as guests. And there's a date for that now, June 16. And she asked for a time, and I think I'll suggest 3 p.m. Eastern time. That's a Tuesday. So that would be, it's not our quarterly meeting, but at least we have something already in our second quarter. But I still want to have something like April, or maybe a little bit before the conference, or something in May for another event for us to hold.
Could we do, if we want Leot, if not Leot, sorry, if we want, I was looking at your name on my notes. If we want Kit to do a fundraising event, could we do that a little bit later in the year and have the quarterly program be Kelly Schrank's checklists presentation, which is kind of unscheduled, but on the, but one of our options. And that way we'll have something in that first quarter.
I would like to, Kelly's super busy. Sorry, I jumped in, Kelly. I think that would be great if we just schedule that for January of 2021. And we'd have something going already for, whoever is our event manager next year. And and Kelly would know in advance. And we just, the original idea for us here too is to get the year started off right with, checklist themed event. What do you guys, and I do think I have some leads on presenters. It's just that I have to be the one to do it. And that's the sucky part for me. But the person I'm thinking of reaching out first of all for this first event is, I think it's Amanda Patterson. Peterson.
Patterson.
Yeah. So she's going to present at Summit, and I wanted to reach out to her and see if she wanted to practice on us first. And that's why I hope she'll be up for it. Maybe later in March. And I'm not, but
be careful because we have Spectrum in March, and she's local to us. I know her.
Okay. Okay, I'm stepping off. Now, what does that mean? I want to.
Well, I'm just saying she's coming to Spectrum. She's working Spectrum because she lives.
Okay, well then I expect that she would tell me that she's not available those days. But that's good, because actually that was my thinking. When I when I presented my thing in Summit, one of the times I presented at Summit, I also presented it at Spectrum, which means I had to have all my slides and stuff ready in time for that. That was kind of the angle I was thinking to approach her with,
Yeah, she's not presenting it at Spectrum, but she's supposed to be working at Spectrum.
Okay.
So,
So March or April, I'll talk with her about that soon. Ideally, we would have a quarterly meeting every quarter, but since we don't have an event manager, I guess I kind of don't care if we have to let it slide if nobody's stepping up. So
right.
Okay, so that's my idea, and then I thought I would look at some other people that way to see if they want to come and present to us.
Can we get someone for the quarterly programs who, for the first quarterly program, because March is coming up very quickly, who has maybe, and this is what I was thinking about with the checklists, who's maybe taught a webinar that the person is willing to shorten for one of our quarterly programs?
But I don't need to shorten it, maybe even. But yeah, I'll look at them. I've just been meaning to reach out to Amanda first of all, so I'll do that. And if she says no, I'll have Kelly sick her.
Well, she may not have the slides ready if it's 2 months away. I mean,
Yeah.
we'll need to.
No, I know. That's why I might say like or
April.
April. But I'll get a couple of more ideas. And if not, we could use Kit. I just need to coordinate her schedule to like, give her some, I need to think of dates and then give her some dates. And so let me just think a minute more if we want to invite her as the quarterly meeting speaker or the fundraiser speaker. But anyway, going back to Kelly's original comment, what was it? Yeah, like I'm kind of trying to play with this. I'm playing around with this.
I don't know.
But I will refocus. I mean, I have my energy needed to be elsewhere.
Yeah.
Still kind of, but I'll try to put some focus on this.
And if it's too soon, we don't have to do anything.
Yeah, I mean, how about this? I'll do what I can do. And if somebody else wants to step up and do it, they can do it too.
Okay, so CAA, thank you, Deanna and Liat, for finishing that up, sending that off. I know it's a lot of work.
When are you going to hear? When do we hear back about that generally?
Right before summit.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, I doubt we'll get Community of the Year, so we'll know. That's the only one you don't know till you get there, right? Community of the Year.
Yeah, I'm sure they're waiting to tell us we're Community of the Year, right?
That's the only one they wait till you get to summit to tell you that you've won.
Right.
All the other ones they tell you ahead of time. So.
And then I do, we do want to try to figure out a way to have people, have people submit information throughout the year if we can, whether it's prompting them once a year or once a month or once a quarter. But I do think we should try to stay on top of that, especially since we don't have an official CAA person. Although Deanna is unofficially the official CAA person.
Yeah,
thank you.
I'll try to work on something to try to keep all that information together. I haven't had much time to work on it, but it's in the back of my mind.
That would be great if we had a way to put it somewhere that people could just, put things on there as they do them.
Well, like I said, I created we can use one of the things we could do, one of the options is to use the 2019 form, to just add information there. The question is, do we want to just ask people to go there, or do we want to just send out an email saying, have you done this, have you done that? Because people might not want to read through the whole thing, and some of it is specific, like, what's our membership numbers, like that. By anyone, by our membership manager, stuff like that.
And
maybe I could add it to the newsletter that I send out every month, like a monthly call for things that you've done, and then sort of go from there.
Yeah, I thought about that too, as far as like if you presented somewhere, we want to hear from you. And what I like about that is that I don't like that we rely, it doesn't seem right that we're just relying on what the volunteers are doing, right? Like Kelly presented here and Kelly presented there, and because of that, the SIG is going to get an award, you know? So it would be good to see like what other people are credit for what they're doing.
Yeah, I like that idea.
Yeah.
And especially the parts like, have you done a shout out, right? Like, have you done something to support, to tout the community? So, but I
Yeah.
do think there is room for poignantly asking the volunteers, like sending out an email to them, to the volunteers, because we might get answers from them, right? Like if we specifically send it to like the 5 people or however many people we are in this council, we might get responses from them. Hopefully we would get responses like, yeah, I'll go in and, update it, or just respond in the email, and then one of us can go in and update it. One of us being Deanna or me can go in and submit and put it in there. But anyway, Deanna, if you want to talk more about that or give it some more thought, and then Kelly about that or whatever.
Okay, sounds good.
Thanks. Did you ever hear from Joel?
Yeah, he was not able to attend now.
Okay. They didn't put anything in there. Deanna, did you want to talk about this Twitter hashtags idea thing?
Yeah, so now that I know how to get to our Twitter account, one thing that
I'm sorry, you'd asked me.
No, it's completely fine. It wasn't trying to be like a criticism or anything. But I've been able to get in and send a couple of tweets, and one thing, I think it was something that we mentioned maybe last month or the month before possibly, is thinking of, no, I think it was on maybe the water cooler chat.
It was.
But just thinking of some ideas for a hashtag that we could use. I had thought about doing TESIG, but that seems to, some people have used that already for non-tech editing related things.
Oh, really?
So I just wanted to know if you had any.
I was trying to figure out what's not already been used by some weird something.
It's just a lot of like just random stuff. That's just not related to editing. Some of them are in different languages, like Spanish. So there's that. So that's why I was wondering if you guys had any thoughts of anything different that we might be able to use, or if it's just technical editing SIG.
Well, tech edit. Tech edit is used, so tech edit.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then maybe the TE-SIG, then water cooler after it. If it's about water cooler, obviously.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, well, nothing came up for that, so that's available for use, I guess.
Okay.
I think it'll be great if we have shout outs that way, but I do want to, hard to monitor for points for the awards. I don't know that I like that idea that was brought up during the water cooler chat about.
What do you mean?
So they get a point if within a certain amount, or everybody gets a point if within a certain amount, like within 24 hours of an event, you give a shout out.
Oh, okay.
And I think this is where the hashtag conversation started, I understand, but somebody asked, well, what about, the tweet? And that would mean that Marcia or Deanna would need to, like, the day after an event, go and, count, they would have to research to, like, if there were shout outs that we need to give people points for. And I don't know that we want to do that. I mean, if Deanna wants to, then that's fine, but I think that's like a kind of a big.
It's not hard. No, you just put the hashtag in search.
Okay, I mean, if you guys want to do that,
pop up.
I know, but it's just one more thing for for the volunteer to do. So that's fine. If you guys don't mind, then that's fine. I just want to bring it up.
Yeah.
So anyway. Okay.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, it's not hard. It's not like she's gonna have to like look through every tweet in the last 24 hours. I mean, she'll just search for the hashtag and it'll pop up, and I mean, how many people were there? You said 17.
Yeah,
Yeah.
The chances of them all tweeting seems.
yeah. Well, the other thing is, I think more than the hashtag is just use our Twitter handle when you're making the the shout.
Mhm.
Well, it would be nice if they would do both. If in
Okay.
the water cooler chat they would say they would have both, but we need to tell them that they would only get it for the hashtag, I think.
So let me ask you this: do you want to do what did we say? TE SIG water cooler,
Yeah.
or do you want to just do TE SIG event, and that way it's a thing?
What was the word?
TE SIG event.
Oh,
Well,
Then you
nothing came up for that either. So both are available for use.
I don't think of a water. I would rather have the water cooler separate than the other.
Mhm.
Like I would rather
well,
have
we
an
could do.
event be for the other ones.
Okay, 'cause I was thinking if we use that, then there would be like a whole bunch that comes up when somebody, searches that history.
Hmm.
What if we do, I mean, so what if we just grab both?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah, it just
yeah. I don't think we'll tell, sorry, you didn't get the water cooler chat point.
Yeah.
How dare you use event?
quiet.
Okay. So,
Yep.
Okay, so of those on the call, who is going to Summit? They know of?
I am, that I know of. Yeah.
Okay. You have to, just like I do. Nobody else?
Oh, because I'm acting co-manager? I'm just kidding.
No, because you're on the non-com.
I know. But I won't be able to make the business meeting, by the way, because it's on the Sabbath.
Yeah.
Anyway, yes, I'll be there.
Okay. I think the next newsletter we need to send out something about who wants to help us plan the summit meeting. Who's coming
Okay.
For sure.
to summit? Usually we have separate meetings to plan
Yeah, we
what we're
have
going to do at summit.
it's the Summit Activities Committee.
Oh, I put that in this. I put that in the newsletter for this month, but I can put it in again for next month or up until the summit.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and I think we should, it doesn't have to be right now, but we should decide on a date for the first meeting. And maybe that's what we can announce in the next newsletter, the date of when we're meeting.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
The co-managers should be part of that committee.
Yeah. Hopefully others will attend.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, what's that?
Hopefully others will attend.
Yeah. On a related note, or I guess this is what we're talking about. Two of the things that we do during Summit is, or during the planning, is we plan for the annual business meeting, and we also come up with our slogan for the. Sorry, there's noise on the line. The other thing we do is thank you, Deanna. The other thing we do is we plan a slogan and then we do like merchandise around that. And I was thinking maybe we could turn that into an annual contest, TE-SIG contest. We would get credit for that, and we also would get some ideas for the committee. We'd have to do it pretty quickly, like maybe all of March or maybe all of April. We have to look at the dates and count back, maybe mid-March to mid-April, so we have time to order things. But what do you think of that idea of holding a slogan contest for our, for the TE-SIG Summit
I like
activity?
it. Yeah.
think it's a good idea. And is it something that we would be able to add to the application for the Community
Yeah.
Achievement Award for next year?
Yep.
Yeah, we could also maybe use it as a, pace setter. Like, hey, you guys could do this too. That's what the pace setter is. Like, we did this brilliant idea.
Right.
Maybe people could do it too. So, all right. So now we need somebody to organize that. But anyway, I wanted to ask you about that. But then, okay, we can take the rest of that conversation into the summit activities committee.
Yeah.
Oh, and I guess the other thing is I was looking at the calendar. I'd like to hold the the lunch event on Sunday rather than Saturday. And so if that's okay with you guys, I'll ask Elaine, you know, because they haven't started, as far as I know, they haven't started reaching out to the communities yet.
Yeah, they did.
Oh, they have?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, I wasn't sure about that. So do you
No.
mind? And I know that the IDL SIG will also ask, like they want to try to hold their lunch not on the same day as ours.
Mm-hmm.
So if that's okay, maybe you can tell them that we prefer Sunday.
Yeah, I can do that.
Okay.
Okay, so I can try to send out a doodle to you, Liat, to see
Sure.
when we should have the first meeting.
Okay.
And then we can give it to Deanna to put in the newsletter. Because you'll probably be
Okay.
working on that, next week, Deanna?
Yep, I'm going to put out a call for next month's announcements, probably tomorrow.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we can try to get that set. Try to
Okay.
get people involved.
Okay. The other thing is that you and I should look at quickly is figure out quickly is the slogan contest. We need to look at work back dates to see soon we need to launch that, when we need to end that, and all that kind of stuff.
Okay. Sounds good. Anybody have anything else?
I have one more. I have one thing.
Okay.
Quick. I did get an email from Jeff, and he told me that he received a bill for the website, and I have to pull it up.
That's weird.
I wasn't sure what the process is for this. Let me pull up his email quickly. Account renewal and invoice. So he got an email from PowWeb
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
saying that our STC Tech Edit account is scheduled to renew on March 15th, and it'll be charged on his card, I guess, will be charged on the 29th. So he just told me that this bill's due and it needs to be paid. So I don't know how that was usually handled.
So the only part that surprises me is that it's due now, because he must have been for half a year.
Mm-hmm.
So I would ask, do you see on there what the renewal, like for how long it's renewing?
Let me see. I just saw it in here. Account center. Give me just a second. I know we have like 6 minutes left. Renew billing. Oh, I just see his card. No, I don't see what the amount is, or I can't find it right now. I can find it later. I just know we're running out of time. So.
Okay, so that's, maybe you can email Kelly and me, but
And it goes on his personal card? Is that?
so because yeah, so because the SIG does not have
Mm-hmm.
a bank account, what we do is the webmaster has agreed in the past, I'm not saying you have to, but the webmaster has agreed to take that charge on their personal account and then get reimbursed. Deanna, it's up to you if you want to do that, and we can take that conversation later either way. First of all, being that it's now, this is kind of blindsiding me just because it's happening now. I expect it to happen around September. So I would ask Jeff, because it's coming up in like 3 days, I would ask him first if he's okay with having this charge now and getting reimbursed. We need to find that out as soon as possible, because if not, we need to change who it goes to. And so first just ask him, tell him we'll like, take care of it for later, but ask him about that. Ask, find out what the amount is for how long, and if he's okay with keeping that charge, this last time.
It's for $59.99. I just saw it. So the due date is on the 29th of February. So
I would
but yeah,
wanna-
I can forward you
Sorry?
this email if that helps.
Yeah,
Because he sent it to my work email and not my SIG email. So I'll forward it to the both of you.
Okay.
Yeah.
That way you have it. I'm surprised that he didn't CC you guys, but that's okay. So I'll do that right now.
Yeah, if you just send it to SIG leaders, it'll get to us too.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you. And then, does it say for how long? Or we'll just look at it. But that's the thing, Kelly, to answer or just to answer everybody's question. Yeah, one of us, the way the system works is one of us has to pay for it and then get reimbursed through STC.
Okay.
I don't know if I think he renewed for just half a year, and I would rather a year.
Well, he did.
So
I think he did that because we were talking about changing the website.
Okay. Do you want to just cost a little more? But as we talked about, we could still be, we could do WordPress. So I think we should do the WordPress through PowWeb still.
Oh.
That's the conversation, Kelly. Why don't you and I also maybe we can just have a quick meeting sometime in the next few days. I'm sorry, I'm just trying to think real quick. Let's just do what you did this time. We'll do for 6 months and then figure out the next step by the time we need to renew again. That'll give us time to talk. So Deanna, the first part is to figure out if he's okay with to front the money and get reimbursed.
Well, in the email that he sent, he said that his personal credit card is on file and he'd prefer to have it off now. So I'm looking at it in more detail. So it seems like I don't know if he would say yes to paying for it for another 6 months just based off
that's
this
fine.
email.
That's not fair anyway. So
then what's the best way then to do it if
we have to, I can put it on mine. I mean, that's fine. We can do it that way.
Okay.
I don't mind doing it either. I just don't know what.
Yeah, we just
how
need to
we get it turned over.
Yeah, either way, it needs to not be in his name anymore.
Right.
Okay, so then
just ask him. So maybe ask him what the process is, or you have access into that?
Yeah.
Presumably.
I can go ahead and update the card on file in our PowWeb account. I think that's the only thing that you really need to do.
Okay, so maybe we can talk by phone over that.
Okay. That sounds good.
Okay. So we're renewing for 6 months, and we'll talk about this moving. We'll talk again soon, but not before the renewal is happening.
Okay.
Okay. It sounds like we have some work to do outside of the meeting, but I've taken some notes, and hopefully other people have.
One final thing, if you guys do have an idea for water cooler chat or an event presenter, just email me those, and then I'll be able to either follow up for the presenter, for the non-water cooler chat, and for the water cooler chat. At least I can give that idea to Donna Reedman when I talk with her.
Okay.
And that's it.
What was that?
I said that's it. But if you have I kind of want to give Donna Reedman ideas of water cooler chat topics when
Okay.
Great, sounds good.
The next meeting is scheduled for March 25th.
Okay,
In time.
I'll add that to the newsletter.
oh, that's my anniversary. We'll see if I attend or not.
You can take the day
Okay.
off.
Perhaps.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. Okay. Well, thanks for
Thank
coming,
you.
everybody.
Thank you.
Have a good day.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Thanks, you too.